Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, March 22nd, 2016. If you would rise and please join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Clint. Councilmember Manning. Councilmember Demmer.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Wells.
Here.
Mayor Cook.
Here.
2 absent, Clinton Manning.
Thank you. First item on our agenda this evening is to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Wells, second by Johnson to adopt the agenda. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we have our agenda adopted. First item on our agenda this evening is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting from March 2nd, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Geisler to approve those minutes. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. We have 7 items on our consent agenda this evening. And the first one is to adopt Resolution 16-37, requesting an advance of state aid funding for the 2016 street reconstruction program. And this is sort of an annual event. So we are going to be looking at adopting resolution number 16-37, requesting an advance MSA funding for the 2016 street reconstruction program. The next item on our consent agenda is to approve the precious metals dealer license and the pawnbroker license for Coon Rapids Pawn LLC, doing business as Twin Cities Pawn, located at 1923 Coon Rapids Boulevard, contingent upon the issuance of the certificate of occupancy from the city building official's office. Next item on our agenda, come on, there we go, is to approve a temporary strong beer and wine liquor license for Epiphany Church for use at Springfest on May 20th and 21st, 2016, contingent upon a successful background investigation. And the next one is to approve Resolution 16-36, amending the 2016 facility construction budget for the purchase and installation of a new 2-post automobile lift for the city shop. Next will be to approve the contract between the Minnesota Department of Corrections and the City of Coon Rapids for the seasonal ICWC program, the Institution Community Work Crew. And item 6 on our consent agenda is to accept the petition for vacation of drainage and utility easements over portions of a property between 3338 and 3352 116th Avenue, Coon Rapids, and order a public hearing for 7 p.m. on April 19th, 2016. I did that one. Yeah. And the last item on our consent agenda is to approve the final payment for Project 14-1 street reconstruction. And we're looking at, yes?
There's 2 more on the list.
There's 2 more at least.
You're on 8.
You're in it. We goes to 10.
Well, let me get through this one first. I wrote 7 of 7. I don't know why I did that. All right. We're looking at approval of change orders and final payment to Park Construction Company in the amount of $84,499.36 for Project 14-1 street reconstruction. And to approve Resolution 16-38 and support the Minnesota Green Corps application. and to make formal nominations to the Coon Creek Watershed District Board of Managers. And we would be recommending Clayton Kearns and Warren Hoffman.
We're already on the board.
We're already on the board, okay. And now, is that all of the consent agenda? Did I miss any?
Nope, you got 'em.
Okay. Any questions or anything that you want broken out on that or explained, or
Mr. Mayor?
Counselor Johnson?
I have a couple of questions, and one is for staff on line item 6, which is the ICWC contract. And I don't know if the question is better directed towards Mr. Himmer or Mr. Brody, but essentially what we're doing is over a 2-year period paying $20,000 a year for that program. And these are people with the Minnesota Department of Corrections who will come out and help the city with some work. Is there a way to quantify the amount of work that they've done or are expected to do?
Yes, Councilmember Johnson, members of the council, I apologize. I do have a folder that kind of outlines the man hours we receive, the types of projects they complete. We currently have a 2-year contract. That's a full year. It goes year-round. This is for a separate crew just for the summer season, April through primarily mowing and those sort of. But yes, what I can do either in the Friday memo or something is to get it out to you on the specific projects they do and kind of the man hours they put in for this.
I've seen them working. I'm supportive of the idea. I think it just would be helpful to let the people who are watching know how much work they actually do in the city.
Absolutely. I should have that. I apologize.
And then, Mr. Mayor, on, if I may, just one other one. Item number 10, appointments to the Coon Creek Watershed District Board of Managers. I would just say that when I was on the Watershed District Board of Managers, I had the opportunity to work with both Warren Hoffman and Clayton Kearns, and I appreciate their contributions and the fact that they're interested in continuing to serve. I find them to be relatively easy to communicate with, which I think is important, and to work with on things, and they're always reachable by me or when other people try to reach them. So I would encourage the council to recommend their reappointment in a list to the Anoka County Board.
Excellent. Any other questions or discussion? Did we have a motion and second on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to move the consent agenda.
I'll second. Yeah, go ahead.
Motion by Geisler, second by Wells. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I'll give you just a little more time from now on, Counselor Johnson. Item 11, consider resolution 14-27, awarding a contract for the 85th Avenue Trail construction. Well, this has been a very long time coming. This is a very exciting thing to be awarding this contract. And for this trail down there in 85th that we've been trying to get for so many years, you were looking at starting construction. Trail work could begin on April 11th or as soon as road restrictions are lifted, and would be completed by June 21st or June 24th. Is that still kind of our goal?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the low bidder is also the contractor that's doing the Northdale Redwood project, so I think that's one of the reasons why they're low. Combining the projects, we've got pre-construction meetings scheduled, but yeah, road restrictions will dictate. We've still got a little bit of work for Xcel Energy to relocate some of their facilities and some fiber optic, but once they're out of the way, it should be full steam ahead.
Beautiful. All right. Russell?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to recommend adoption of Resolution 1427 Sub 9, awarding the contract to Valley Paving in the amount of $326,804.50 for the 85th Avenue Trail construction.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Geisler, second by Johnson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. We don't have any old business this evening. we have one piece of new business to consider abatement services contract. And this is, and I had that whole list of work highlighted. Here we go. So this was putting out an RFQ to find the contractor that's capable of doing the abatement of the junk, debris, and general household trash, abatement of yard waste, abatement of appliances, graffiti, swimming pools, auto parts, securing properties, kind of everything that we need done when it has to be done. So we are looking at approving an agreement for a nuisance abatement and securing property services with Do-All Services Incorporated. I just read the motion, I'm sorry. So, somebody want to move it?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Geisler, to approve the agreement for nuisance abatement and securing property services with Do-All Services Incorporated. Any discussion? Counselor Demmer.
So normally we see sort of a list of what the bid prices were. On this one, it says they were competitive, but then it also states that they seemed like the most capable one. That some of the others, maybe more of the concern wasn't the price, but the quality of service. And I just wanted to make sure that that was stated, that we didn't see the actual bid differences, but that you felt that they were the one that could actually do the job adequately.
Well, Councilmember Demmer on council, it's the case for both of those criteria for do-all. They were definitely one of the more affordable contractors that we did interview, and they also had the most experience and capability with their staffing, their equipment, and their availability to respond in a very timely manner. There was a concern with some of the other vendors that they were so limited in the size of their organization that they just did not have the ability to respond quickly enough. So it's a combination of all those factors that we did consider while determining who to award this contract to.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. We are at the open mic portion of the meeting. Anybody like to speak to open mic? No? All right. We don't have any reports on previous open mic. Other business to come before the council. I would just like to highlight that Wednesday, tomorrow, March 23rd, if you're watching this live, is tomorrow. March 23rd, 2016, from 5 to 7 p.m. will be an open house at the Church of the Epiphany, 11,001 Hanson Boulevard, to discuss the Hanson Boulevard grade separation. So, Hanson Boulevard grade separation open house, 5 to 7, March 23rd at Epiphany, 5 to 7 p.m. That's all I got.
Just add that the presentation is at 5:45. If people are like me and don't want to stay a full 2 hours, 5:45.
That's important. I knew I was going to be there 2 hours, so I didn't even bother looking at that. Presentation at 5:45, all right. Chief Piper.
Mayor, council members, I'm pleased to announce, following up on what you just stated about the Hanson grade separation, yesterday I received notice from Gavin Hanson, who is the committee administrator for the House Bonding Committee or Capital Investment Committee, and they've invited the city to come down this coming Thursday to make our case for the 50% funding we're requesting from the state. So we'll be down there to make our case to why we think this is important. And as you're well aware of, the county has hired SRF. The engineering work is taking place, and that's more information to come tomorrow night at the open house. But we're pleased that 50% of the funding is secured, and we're hoping the Senate, the House, and the governor come through with the remaining 50% in this legislative session. We should know by May 23rd.
Excellent. Thanks, Chief. Any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Geisler, second by Johnson to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're done.
Are you not?